Alrighty, shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone who still rule well and who have taught me this truth. Right? Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect out there, scattered wherever you may be. May Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai bless you and your household, and may you continue to endure. Shalom to you, Aki. I'm on the highways and byways week in and week out doing this work as Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai commanded us to do. Right? May Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai bless you and your household and may you continue to endure. Alright? And shalom to you, sincere sisters who are learning this truth in obedience and in silence. Right? May Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai bless you and your household. May you also continue to endure. Alright? And final. Shalom to you Israelite foreigners, right, who don't look like your regular Israelites. But your bloodline, your seed line, and your loins go back to you being from our forefather Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. All right, after he had fought against an angel. All right, and from one of Jacob's 12 various sons. All right, shalom to you. It's your brother Debakia from the Sons of Yasharallah, GMS Colorado Springs Camp, coming to you again with another live lesson. All right, sitting down, rather, another sit down. All right, laboring in Denver, and I pray that you are edified because that's what this truth is about, man. Edification and exhortation. All right, this is what we do these lessons for. All right, and today's lesson will be based in the book of First Peter. It looks like this is where the Spirit led me, so I'm gonna go ahead and get it. All right, First Peter chapter 5. All right, in the NLT, and who knows, I might title it right there what it says: Advice for Elders and Young Men. But let's get into it, man. First Peter chapter 5 and verse 1. And now, a word to you who are elders in the churches, all right? And who are the elders in our churches, man? Elder Apostle Gabar, right? Tahar, Elder Apostle Tahar, Ramlab, Gabar, all right? Rakah, Elder Apostle Rakah, and so forth, man. The elders and the bishops at Great Millstone on down. I too am an elder and a witness to the sufferings of Hamashiach, right? Because when you come into this truth, man, ultimately we're taking on the same, all right, severities and um things that our Lord Yahweh Shai had to take on, all right, during his time, all right, but just in this generation, meaning we're going to catch hell, right? We're going to be vexed by demons on a daily, right? Our woman is going to give us hell, right? Esau, Edom is, all right, it's inevitable, all right? This is spiritual warfare out here, right? I too am an elder and a witness to the sufferings of Hamashiach, and I too will share in his glory when he is revealed to the whole world. All right, so yes, we're suffering right now while we're in this gospel. All right, but we're not in that woe is me spirit. Ultimately, though, we're suffering for a good reason, man. We're suffering for the kingdom of heaven, right? To be established here on earth, to rule in that next kingdom with our Lord Yahweh Shai and King David, right? To be a part of that. That first, the first fruit, if you will, the elect, all right? Because ultimately, you're not going to understand this truth if you're not a part of the elect. And let me make sure this is recording. I know how these things are. All right, cool. Right? Because this is all about the elect, man. It's about the elect, and then Esau, Edom, and Jacob, right? And then 2/3, and you heathens. But as we always say, man, this is the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai's movement, man. So, yo, if you're a part of the 2/3 club, it is what it is because reincarnation is biblical. You more than likely was a wicked ass nigga in the past life. All right, I'm trying to sugarcoat it, and I'm just call it what it is. All right, the scriptures say the spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophets, man. So the prophets from back then are reincarnated. All right, those who persecuted our Lord Yahweh Shai, all right, you wicked Pharisees and Sadducees, you're back in the flesh, as well as you Romans who pierced him, man. And that's why when he gets revealed, you damn Edomites, right? You're also going to witness our Lord Yahweh Shai, all right, coming through on that chariot, all right, with laser beams, what coming out of his mouth, all right, and his eyes. all right, to annihilate you fucking devils and to destroy you two-thirds. All right. And I too will share in his glory when he is revealed to the whole world. As a fellow elder, I appeal to you. Care for the flock that God has entrusted to you. All right, let's see what that word entrusted means. Let's see if I can get it. Hey Siri. Looks like I can't summon Siri. Dang, one sec, y'all. I had the Bible etymology online. Bear with me. There it is. Let's get these words, man. 'Cause that's what we do over here at Great Millstone, right? We go into words, we go into articles, details, and we do our research, man. And trust. Let's see. I wish it pull up. All right. Well, there it is. It says right there, in trust. It's a verb to make, to put in trust, right? That's and look, man, we trust Yahweh Shema Shai, man, but we also trust that but our elders and bishops at Great Millstone on down, man, have the 100% truth, right? Us young men in this faith, in this gospel. All right. Therefore, we're going to stand on this and on this gospel, right? By all means necessary, no matter how vexed we might get, no matter how much hell we catch, man. We're going to ultimately cleave to Yahweh Shema Shai and cleave to sound doctrine. And let me rephrase that. The elect, the hopeful elect, are going to cleave to sound doctrine and not be like wave and to not get wavered in our faith, right? Care for the flock that God has entrusted to you, man. All right. Watch over it willingly, not grudgingly, not for what you will get out of it, but because you are eager to serve God. Right? And you want to know who's not watching over the flock correctly? IUIC, right? ISUPK, Sakari, Genesis, right? Wi-Fi. And the reason they're not watching over the flock carefully is because they're still on the fence about what the MOTB is, man. That MOTB is the RFID micro C-hip. All right, that's why you see Esau Edom on a rampage to build up these AI, right? Allen Iverson data centers, right? Because they're eager to push that NWO. What's that NWO I'm referring to, you might ask? That's that New World Order, all right? And this is all milk, man. But nonetheless, Yahweh Shai has to give you eyes to see and ears to hear, right? Don't we always say this, man? The elect could be scattered. The elect is scattered all over the world, and the elect is even scattered in a lot of these Israelite camps with these fake teachers, man. But if the Lord really wants you, man, He's going to pull you away from that congregation, and you're going to find sound doctrine, man. Right? Let's get that verse again. That's a beautiful verse. Care for the flock. Who's the flock? You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. The Israelites that God has entrusted to you. Watch over it willingly, not grudgingly, not for what you will get out of it, but because you are eager to serve God. And that's why I do this truth. That's why I do these lessons. That's why I hit the highways and byways, because I want to serve Yahweh Shema Shai, right, in front of the people, because I have no shame in my game. I have no shame in this gospel, right? This gospel has saved my life. This gospel has turned me into a sharper and brighter young man. Verse 3, don't lord it over the people assigned to your care, but lead them by your own good example. All right. And that's what our elders and apostles at Great Millstone are doing, man. Starting with Elder Apostle Tahar. All right. Uh, Constantly doing his sit down lessons, but praying, fasting, right? Calling on Yahweh Shema Shai and just enduring as well, man, because he's been in the truth for 40 plus years, and as well as his elders over him, man, right? Beginning back to going back to those One West days, right? That great ancient history that happened over there in New York, man, in the early 90s, right? But nonetheless, Yahweh Shema Shai separated our elders from, that school over there so they can set up Great Millstone all through the spirit, though, man. Because, they'll go into it, our elders will, about how Great Millstone wasn't even the name that they were looking for. It's just something that they came across. And that's why we always say, the Wadi Yahweh Shema Shai for sending us the what? The Rakah Kodash, which means spirit holy in the Paleo Hebrew, man. All right. Don't lord over it. Don't lord it over the people assigned to your care. So don't boast and just be cocky that you're in this truth, man. We have to maintain our humility and stay positive, right? And fear Yahweh Shai, because that's what it's about. But lead them by your own good example. And when the great shepherd appears, Yahweh Shai, you will receive a crown of never-ending glory and honor. Rock the Yahweh Shai, man. That's what we're fighting for, our crown, man. All right, don't let anybody take your crown, right? Because we are kings here on earth, man. And the so-called white man and his descendants and his women, they're all fucking Edomites. They're peons. They're less than nothing. They're less than dirt. All right, as my previous lesson says, or where I went into, I believe it was Isaiah chapter 40, somewhere in the 40s. But these Edomites, these heathen nations don't matter. They're like a drop in a bucket, right? Yahweh Shai only cares about his people, all right? Which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Hebrew Israelites of the Bible. And this is becoming common knowledge at this point, man. You scoffers and you scorners, right? You're going to die a grievous death for coming against the prophets, as well as you evil ass wicked women. All right, judgment is taking place on earth at a mass level. You just had a huge wildfire, right? Started by a damn Edomite, I believe, through spirit. But we'll see. All right, and he committed an act of arson, right? But which is to intentionally, right, start a fire to harm people and just communities, right? That's because you damn Edomites have demons on you, right? And it's only going to get worse, right? When I first came into the truth, I used to be vexed. Right? Always seeing the so-called black women with the fucking Edomite man. But nowadays, hey, to hell with that shit. Keep Keisha. We don't want Keisha anymore, man. She's a fucking demon too. And you're Keisha, all right, you two-third nigga women, you're going to fall with this devil as well. All right, so bad riddance. You know how they say good riddance? No, I'm wishing you nothing but bad. May how about you might try to destroy you Edomites, you heathens, you two-thirds, all right, and anybody who comes against this gospel, and may he save his elect. And when the great shepherd appears, you will receive a crown of never ending glory and honor. Verse 5. In the same way, you who are younger must accept the authority of the elders, in which we do, right? You got a lot of young men out here in the truth who don't want to give double honors to our elders, all right? And that's off, as you can see. This chapter clearly shows that we have to respect our elders, man, because ultimately, Yahweh Bashman Shai set our elders up, man. All right, not the Christian church, right? Not Satan. Actually, let me rephrase that too. Satan has set up a lot of Israelite leaders as well, man. You got a lot of blood on your hands if you're not teaching this gospel in its 100% what entirety, right? Because over here at Great Millstone, we don't have any holes in our doctrine. We're gonna give you the whole skinny and keep it real, man. All right, keep it real like the man of steel. Inside joke. All right. In the same way, you who are younger must accept the authority of the elders, and all of you dress yourselves in humility as you relate to one another. All right, for God opposes the proud, but give grace to the humble. Man. Pray for a more humble spirit. I pray for humility. I pray for a more humble spirit and humility each and every day, man. I pray for you, how about you, to make me sharper in my mind. All right, because you got these people bugging the hell out, man. All right, courtesy of that Maxine, right? That you zombies had took, right, in 2020 when you were force fed that propaganda from Dr. Fauci. All right, now that dude is in court pleading the fifth because he knows that a lot of the death that has occurred on Earth, all right, are through him, man, in his wicked pharmaceutical. Actually, let me stop there before they strike this channel. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that's just what it is. So nonetheless, we have to continue to be humble, right? Fear Yahweh Shai to the best of our ability. Keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, and keep our hands clean, man. Because there's nothing. This world don't got shit for us, man. Right? Ooh, let's go to Proverbs, precept upon precept. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 34. Let's go ahead and get that. We'll come back to First Peter. First Peter 5. One second, y'all. Salakia. Proverbs. Bear with me. Proverbs 5. Ooh, okay. Ooh. All right, avoid immoral women, which is talking about the woman on a physical level, but also in a metaphorical level when it comes to this philosophy, right? And a parabolic level too. All right, Proverbs chapter 5 and verse 1. My son, pay attention to my wisdom. Listen carefully to my wise counsel. Verse 2. Then you will show discernment, and your lips will express what you've learned. For the lips of an immoral woman are as sweet as honey, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But in the end, she